What's up, guys, and welcome back to Athena's Garage. In today's video, we're going to be throwing a new top end on this Honda Recon. Let's get right into it. As per the usual with this build, I've done several things off camera, as in put these new valves in. I got some new valve seals. Shout out to my buddy Trent. Thank you for bringing me these valve seals. They are pretty much all the same on all these lower Hondas. Even the 400DX valve seals are the same size. So I got some new seals on here. Here are the old brown crusty hard ones. Got those in. The valves are lapped and in. Surfaces are cleared up. I got a rebuild kit for this however you say that, carburetor. I kept the stock jets in there. I'm just going to leave them as is. But I also got this Chinese Tupo, that's the brand of it, kit off of Amazon. I've used this company before. They actually make a pretty decent cylinder. I mean, this thing looks pretty nice for what it is. We got some rings, stock piston in the stock size, and obviously the cylinder and the wrist pin and all that kind of junk. And we're going to be going ahead and putting it on here. But one thing I did notice might be a little bit bigger than this stock one. They might have put a big bore in this thing. It's definitely bigger. So they definitely put a big bore in this. We're going to go ahead and get started. I did clean the mating surface up on this side as well. What I did is I took the two head studs out right here and basically cleaned the surface off with a wire wheel. Got it nice and cleared off. So we're going to probably put the piston together over here, put the rings on, bring the piston over there with the wrist pin, attach it to the four-wheeler, to the crank rod there, make sure it's facing the in for intake here, and put our gasket on, and then try to throw the cylinder on and hopefully get everything back together. I don't think I'm going to be able to start it today because I don't have a battery and I don't have an ignition coil. The ignition coil that was on here, the boot was completely shredded, so won't be able to do that. Kitty cat. That's kind of where we're at. So let me get a few things organized here, and then I'll set up the tripod for the camera over by the quad when I get started. Before I get over there, I just wanted to point out these rings were way too tight. Definitely check your rings before you put anything together. I checked the rings on this thing, and man, were they tight. You couldn't even get like the smallest gauge in here. So I filed them. What I did was just put a file here and put the file in the vise, and then just basically sanded or filed the ring just a bit until I hit spec. I believe it said the top ring was 0.008 was the minimum, and then the second ring was 0.016 on the feeler gauges, if I remember correctly. So now that that's done and the rings are on, I set them in different positions all the way around. I can go over, and I'm going to go ahead and put the piston on the crank and then hopefully slide this thing over there. Piston is in. Go ahead and put one of your circlips on one side. I did the intake side. Take your piston, come over here, stuff a rag inside your bottom end here, slide your wrist pin through onto your crank, and then you go ahead and put your other circlip on. If you have a little pick, it helps kind of pry it against there and wedge it in, and it is good to go. It is in there now, and make sure your IN is facing the intake side. So now I think what I'm going to do is try to get the gasket on, make sure this gasket surface is completely cleaned up, and then once the gasket's on, we should be able to take our cylinder, slide it over this, and hopefully I can record all that. Our dowels are in. We have one here. I need to actually make sure on the other cylinder that we're not missing a dowel, because I will have to put it on here on the new cylinder. On here, and I got my dowel pin right there. This should just slip on. I've cleaned these off. That goes on. I've cleaned the bottom of our cylinder, so hopefully our cylinder just kind of slides on here. At least that is the hope anyway. And there's no dowels, and I just got grease all over this. Let me clean this off again. This is just some brake carb cleaner stuff. There's grease all over my hands. Now I am going to oil the inside of the cylinder once I have this on here, because I'm trying to avoid touching it as much as possible. Okay. Our piston See if we can compress those rings. If you have fingernails, oh man, and don't do that. There we go. Okay. So, just for reference and double checking here, I am going to oil the inside of the cylinder. I have a little bottle of, it says 3-in-1, but this is actually Rotel 15W40. It's the oil I use in almost all my four-wheelers. It's just what I have in this bottle. Makes it easier to apply in here. Putting it on the top inside the cylinder, and I'm gonna look under here. I did get oil on that mating surface there, but we should be okay. I should, yeah, be able to seat that on here. Kind of like that. And hopefully work it back and forth. All right. Our new cylinder is in. We should be able to turn this. Freely. Looks like it's moving pretty good. Now, what we'll need to do is get our head gasket. Now I have the old one. I don't think I'm going to use it. It does look like it's a little bit thicker than the new one, but I don't see a need for it. But what I am going to do, like I do with almost all these, is put some of that spray, copper spray gasket stuff on here. I use it for everything. Highly recommend it. Never have any leaks with it. So to do that, you just take that spray stuff, kind of hang this, spray it, let it tack up, and then go ahead and slide it on, and then you should be good to go. So I'm going to do that and make sure we have all our dowels for this, and then put the head on. Here's my gasket now sprayed and covered. I'm going to let this tack up for a second, and then throw it on and basically get ready to put the head on. Okay, our gasket is on, and our head is about to go on. So let's see if we can slide this sucker on. Where are the bolts? There we go. There should be 2 dowels that are in. Just kind of rock it back and forth to make sure it's on there. And it's on. So the top end is almost done. Now, before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and put those push rods in here. I've completely forgotten those before, and that sucks. So I'm going to get those in there now, and then I'm going to start tightening these head bolts. I can't remember the torque specs for them, but I will try to put them on the screen or look them up here in a minute. But you have 2 nuts that go here with washers, and then 2 long 8mm nuts that are bolts that go here. And then once your cap goes on, your other nuts go on here. So let me get that done, and I'll be back. Okay, so I was going to tighten the head down, and I did a little bit, but if you can look, here is the new gasket, here's the old gasket. Look at the difference. The push rods were not sitting correctly, and I could not get them to sit inside here on the valves, on the rockers correctly. So obviously the gasket they gave us is not right. That, or I have it on backwards or something. I mean, I don't think I do, because it fit on there pretty much evenly, but it's obviously not the right one. So I'm going to take this gasket off and use the old one and basically clean it up, spray the same stuff. Now I have to clean off both surfaces, unfortunately, but it is what it is, and hopefully go from there, because you could see this thing was being dented in, and it obviously wasn't working correctly. All right, I didn't show a lot of this, mainly because I was kind of confused myself, so I didn't want to confuse anyone else. But essentially, the rockers here, see if this will focus, the rockers were not lining up with the push rods. That's what was happening with the gasket. So I used the old gasket, put some spray gasket on there. I cinched once I put the rockers on, they lined back up. Cinched this down, Down here, I got it to top dead center on the compression stroke, so I just turned it with a wrench and put my finger over the spark plug till I felt compression, and now I know that's at top dead center. When it hits the T mark, for some reason the T mark and the F mark on this thing are very, very scratched up. I don't know what was happening in there or what went on, so hopefully there's nothing loose in there. And essentially, I think now what I'm going to do is find the torque specs for these acorn nuts here and tighten those down, tighten the 10s right there, tighten this big one right here, and then go ahead and do some adjustments on our valves. Now these, I believe, are .005 on intake and exhaust, if I remember correctly. If they're not, I'll put it up on the screen or I'll tell you in the next clip. But I'm going to go ahead and do that, adjust them, and then we can put our valve cover on. We have to reuse the valve cover gasket. Shouldn't be a problem. Same thing, I'm going to spray with that copper gasket stuff and then torque that on at probably like 7 foot-pounds for these, just 4 bolts around the edges. And then we can put the pull cord start on there and try to turn it over a few times. It's not going to spark. It shouldn't anyway. I mean, it might actually arc if everything is going good, but the ignition coil doesn't have a boot on there, so maybe I could see if it will spark, but I just want to turn it over a few times, make sure nothing binds up, and hopefully we are done. The valve cover's on. Just a warning or a heads up, those two 10s are 9 foot-pounds. The head acorn nuts are 22 foot-pounds, and you're supposed to do it in increments of 3, like 9, 16, then 22 foot-pounds. I didn't do that, but whatever. And then these 4 up here are probably going to be like 7 foot-pounds, I'm assuming. I just did them hand tight, not super snug. This one was an aftermarket bolt that didn't even reach, so I got a little bit longer one. It's an 8, but we have some good news. It turns over fine. It sounds good when I turn it. I put the recoil start thing back on, the pull start, so I can pull start it now, and it sounds good. And right here is the coil. Well, you can't really see it, but essentially it is sparking. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is sparking. So we have spark. It turns over, it sounds good. Waiting on that coil, but in the meantime, I can put most of the stuff back, but I don't think you guys need to see that. Like I said, I've redone the carburetor, got a new carb kit in there. Gonna put that back up, hook it up, hook the air box back up. I don't have a filter yet, but I need to get one. Obviously hook the throttle up, just basically get everything sound, put the exhaust header on, connect it to the actual exhaust, and we should be good to go. And then I think we can actually start this thing, if it'll start. I am not sure where in the last clip I was, but a few things have came up. One, I got the battery in, but before I ever got this battery in here, I did get this thing started. It took freaking forever. I had to tear this carburetor apart multiple times. It wouldn't run right. I eventually got it to idle and run. It is idling and running right now when you jump the solenoid, but the solenoid, I guess, is not good. So I ordered one of those, but a major thing and why the wheels are off and all the plastics are off, I think something's going on with the front end, and I'm going to try to replicate it here in a second. I'm going to put this thing on jacks and put it in gear, but essentially it idles and sounds okay, and when you give it gas and rev it out, it sounds fine. But the second you put it into gear, it sounds like something is absolutely catastrophically wrong in the front of this motor. I don't know if it's something to do with the clutch, that one-way clutch bearing thing in the front of this. I don't know. My plan was to flip this up. It actually was flipped up a little bit ago, and pull this cover off, but I want to do that on camera, and I wanted to show you guys an example of this. So let me get this all situated so hopefully you can hear this. It literally sounds horrible. Here, and jump this, maybe. It turns over okay. Let's see, let's choke it. So you see it does start, but click the starter, nothing happens. Again, maybe let's hit the choke. It needs to warm up a little bit. You can almost hear it now. The motor is starting to sound worse when idling. It's gotten worse over the last little bit. Sounds. Well, honestly, it doesn't sound near as bad. It sounded way worse under load, so I'm wondering what that could mean. If you know, let me know. But it sounds way worse with it under load than it actually does with the tires lifted up. It'd be so much easier if this thing would start and run. But I'm gonna try to do this and see what we can figure out here. There, can you hear it now? Now that it's... Well, that sounded rough. As soon as I held the brake and the motor was under load, it sounded bad again. Whoa. Uh-oh. My screwdriver is smoking. That's not particularly good. Well, I guess I need to be in neutral. Oh man. I want to say it might be the timing chain or something. I don't know, it sounds horrible. Honestly, I can't, it's so hard to tell where it's coming from. It sounds like it's coming from the front, but at the same time, it also sounds like it's coming from the cylinder, which doesn't make a lot of sense because it's a brand new piston and cylinder, new rings, and I redid the valves. I could recheck the valves, but I don't know, something just does not sound right. So anyway, I gave you an example of that. Now I am going to flip this thing up and probably start a new video and try to figure out what in the hell is going on here. All right, so this is where I'm gonna end this video. I'm not exactly sure where we're gonna go from here. It sounds really bad, and I did notice the other day when I did ride it, I rode it around the yard. The sound wasn't as bad when it was higher revs, but at low RPM and under load, it sounds really bad. Hopefully the microphone picked that up. That was really hard to do one-handed. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear it or not, but that's kind of where we're at. So stick around, and the next video, hopefully next week, will be me tearing the front end of this apart. I've never done one on these Honda Recon 250, so it would be a first for me. And if you like this kind of stuff, consider subscribing. If you want to help support the channel, links in the description are affiliate links, and they do give me a little bit of kickback anytime someone purchases something from them. So it's another easy way to help support the channel if I have any links in the description. So that's it, guys. If you have any tips or ideas on what the heck that noise could be, please let me know. I will be tearing into this soon. So well, that's it. Hope you guys have a good one. Bye.